Good morning friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In this video, I want to discuss in detail about tuples. So I request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. First let me discuss what is a tuple, then I will discuss how can we create a tuple and how to access the elements in a tuple, and then how can we delete the entire tuple, and we have several methods such as count, index, all these things I will discuss in detail for you. Now, a tuple is an immutable data type in Python. This is very important. Immutable means the elements which are there in the tuple we cannot change. When I discussed about the lists, array, string, all these things, they are mutable. Meaning is that we can change the elements inside an array and also in the list and also in the string. But in tuple it is not possible. So that's why a tuple is an immutable data type in Python. Now let me discuss how can we create a tuple. Let me write as a is equal to, so a is a tuple variable here. I can open the braces and I can write the list of elements separated by comma. So this is the way we can create a tuple. And another way we can create a tuple is, let me write b is equal to 6, 7, 8, 8, 9. Is it clear? So if you observe clearly, the 8 came twice. So it is a duplicate value. Here 8 is there, here also 8 is there. This is a duplicate value. When it comes to the sets does not allow the duplicate elements, but a tuple, list, all these things will allow the duplicate elements. Is it clear? So this is the way you can create a tuple, or you can create a tuple like this. If you want to print the entire tuple, you can simply write print b. All the elements in the tuple will be displayed. Is it clear? Okay. And now remember one thing. If you want to access a particular element in the list, we have used the indexing. Similarly, in a tuple also we can use the indexing. But when it comes to the sets, we cannot use the index to access a particular element. But however, in tuple it is possible. So if I create a tuple having the values 1, 2, 3, 4, meaning is that at the index 0, always the index will start from 0. At the index 0, value 1 is stored. At index 1, the value 2 is stored. At index 2, value 3 is stored. At index 3, value 4 is stored. So if you want to access a particular element, you can do it also. So you can write print a of 1. Now here 1 is the index. At index 1 in the tuple A, what value is there? Value 2 is there. That will be displayed for you as an output. Is it clear? So this is the way you can access the element, one element all. If you want to access all the elements, or if you want to print all the elements, obviously you can use the for loop. How you can do it? For I in A is the tuple here. Okay. Then you can write the print I. Then all the elements in the tuple will be displayed. If you want to display all of them in a single line separated by some space, that also you can do. You can write I comma end is equal to double quotes, give a space, close the double quotes, and you can write. By default end will be \n. So after printing one value, it will go to the new line and print the another value. But if you write like this, instead of \n, you are making it as a space. So what will happen? First value 1 will be printed and you will get a space, and 2 will be printed, then 3, then 4, like this it will be printed as an output. Okay. Now if you want to print only few elements in the array, you don't want to print all the elements which are there in the tuple. Okay, sorry if I use array, I'm really sorry. We are talking about the tuples only. Now if I want to print only few elements, then I can use the slicing concept. Okay, so the slicing will give the starting, any value starting, and we will give the end. Okay, so like this we can give. Now any slicing will have the starting and ending. Now if you give like this, it will print the value which is there at the index 0, value 1 is there. Then comes a space, a value which is there at index 1, 2 will be printed. Now you can ask me, sir, you are printing only 1 and 2. Why not 3? Because you said the starting index is 0, ending index is 2. So at index 2, value 3 is there. So 1, 2, 3 should be displayed. Remember one thing about the slicing. If you specify the end index as n, it will print up to n minus 1 index only. As you specified the n index as 2, it will print the elements which are there at the index 1 only. Now let's take that. Sir, I does not want to specify the end. I have given only the starting. I forgot to mention the ending. What will happen? In that case, it will start from the 0th index and it will print all the elements which are there in the tuple. If you does not specify the ending, it will go up to the last. Now let's take that. I forgot to specify the starting. However, I specified the ending. Meaning is that I want to print all the elements up to second index, because here the index value is 3. So up to second index, what are the elements are there I want to print. But I forgot to specify the starting index. If you forgot to specify the starting index, it will start from the 0th index. So it will print the values 1, 2, 3. Is it clear? Because these are the elements are there at 0th index, 1 index and second index. Okay. Now if you simply write print a of minus 1, then what value will be printed? Then the last element is 4, that will be printed. If I specify minus 2, print a of minus 2, then last but 1, which is 3, that will be printed. If you specify the positive values, it will start printing from the left hand side. If you specify the negative values, it will start printing from the right hand side. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? So this is the way you can access the elements which are there in the tuple. Now, as I said, the tuple elements are immutable. We cannot change the elements which are there in the tuple. Suppose if I write a statement called b of 0 is equal to 5. Now what is the meaning is there? Now at the 0th index of the b, you have the value 6 and you are trying to modify it. Then it will give an error for you, because Python elements are immutable. So you cannot change the elements. But however, if you want to change, how we can do means we cannot change all the elements. Let me discuss. Suppose let's take that I have created a tuple consists of elements 1, 2, 3. Inside a tuple, I have created a one list. Okay, saying that 4, 5, 6. Okay, now we can change the values which are there in this list. Now list is one of the element in the tuple. If you observe it, C is a tuple and you have the elements 1, 2, 3, and this is also will be considered as a one element, but it is a list. Now if you want to change the value 4, which is there in the list of a tuple, how you can do is that you can write C, which is a tuple variable, and look at here, this will be starting index 0, this will be 1, this will be 2, and this entire one will be 3. So at the index 3, now look at here, at index 3 you want to change the value 4. So then again here the index will be 0, this index will be 1, this index will be 2. So 0, because you want to change the value of 4 to some 10. This is possible. Are you able to understand it or not? Because this is one of the tuple element, but this is a list. You can modify this one, and how can you access this? You can write like this. Is it clear? This is the third index. Inside the third index, you want to change the 4, so that's why I have represented as 0th index. Like this, you can access that one and you can modify it. Is it clear? So this is the way you can modify. Now let me discuss. I want to delete the entire tuple. Yes, you can delete the entire tuple. Meaning is that, let's take that you have created a tuple having the elements 6, 7, 8, 8, 9. If you want to delete the entire tuple, then you can do it. You can write del in braces b. This is a tuple variable. You are asking us to delete the entire tuple, then entire tuple will be deleted. Is it clear? If you access the print b, then it will give an error for you. Are you able to understand it or not? You are deleting the entire tuple and also its elements. Is it clear? So this is the way we can delete a particular tuple, not the element which is there in the tuple. We are entirely deleting the entire tuple. Okay. Now let me discuss how can we perform the concatenating of two tuples. What is meant by concatenating two tuples? You are combining two tuples. Let's take that I have two tuple variables called a and b. Now I want to concat these elements. So I can write c is equal to a plus b, or even you can write simply print a plus b also. Then all the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9 will be displayed. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? So like this it will be displayed as an output. So you are combining the two tuples. So this is one tuple, this is another tuple. You are combining. Concatenating is nothing but the combining two elements or two tuples here. Is it clear? Now let me discuss few methods in the tuple. Like we have count and index. Let me discuss about them. Let's consider that in a particular tuple, I want to count how many times 8 has occurred. Look at here, 8 has occurred 2 times. I want to count it. How can I do is that I can write b dot count, give the particular one. Suppose let's take that I have given 8. Then it will go to the tuple variable b and it will find how many times the element 8 has occurred. If you have observed clearly, it has came 2 times. So the value 2 will be printed if you write within the print statement. Are you able to understand? If you write within the print, then this value will come as 2. Are you able to understand it or not? So the count method will be useful for you to count how many times the particular element has occurred. Suppose if you want to count how many times 1 has occurred, then it will give you the 1 as an output, because the element 1 has came only once in the tuple variable called a. Okay. Similarly, you want to find the index of the particular element. I can write a dot index 4. Now it will go to the tuple variable a and it will search value 4. Yes, 4 is there. Now 4 is there in which index? Can you tell me in which index it is there? 4 is there at the index 3. So if you write the within the print, it will get the output as 3. Now let me write the simple thing. B dot, okay, index 8. Now look at here. In the B, 8. 8 is there here and here. Now if you consider this one, this is there at the index 2, this is there at the index 3. So you will have a confusion. Will it give the value 2? Will it give the value 3? Or will it give 2 comma 3? Because you can say that sir 8 is there both the places. So it should give the index as 2 comma 3. Okay, but it will give only the index as 2. First time when the 8 is there, that index only it will give for you. Is it clear? So this is the way you can use the count and index methods in the tuple. I hope it is clear for you. If you have any doubts, don't worry. I will discuss these things in the Jupyter notebook for better understanding.
Let me create two tuple variables called a and b. First, I am creating a tuple variable a having the elements 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. And another tuple variable I am creating, which is b, having elements 6, 7, 8, 9. And now I want to verify whether tuple variable a and tuple variable b has been successfully created or not. You can look at the tuple variable a consists of elements 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Tuple variable b consists of elements 6, 7, 8, 9. If you look at the tuple variable a, it is allowing the duplicate elements, whereas set does not allow the duplicate elements. So you can create a tuple like this or like this also. Now let me discuss how can you access a particular element in the tuple. To do that one, you will use the indexing. So if you look at, always the index will start from 0. Suppose if I have written print A, okay, and I am providing the index value as some 3. At the index 3, if you look at value 3 is there. Okay, now look at here. We will get the output as 3 because at the 0th index value 1 is there, at index 1 2 is there, at index 2 3 is there, at index 4 3 is there, at index 5 4 is there, at index 6 5 is there. Okay, so this is the way you can access a particular element. If you want to access all the elements, or if you want to display all the elements in a tuple, that also you can do it. So for I in tuple variable which is b, then I will write print I. Then all the elements which are there in the tuple b will be displayed line by line. So you will get an output as 6, in the another line 7, 8, 9 like that. You can look at it. We got the output as 6, 7, 8, 9. Now you want them in a single line separated by a space, that also you can do. End is equal to space you will provide. Now you will get 6, 7, 8, 9. By default, end will be backslash n. That's why first it has printed 6, then in the next line it has printed 7, next line 8, next line 9. But in this case, what I am doing, I am making the end as space. So that's why after printing 6, it has gone for a single space, then 7, like that it has displayed the output. Now if you want to display few elements in the tuple, that you can do with the help of slicing. So in a slicing, you need to provide starting and ending. Suppose let me provide the starting index as 0 and ending index as 2. Then it will display the elements such as 6, comma, in 6 and then 7 only. Why it is so, I will discuss with you. See, you got the output as 6 and then 7. The starting index is 0, so it will start printing the elements which is there at the index 0. At index 0 you have the element 6, so that you got it. Then index 1 7 is there, it will display. Now look at here, if you are providing the end index as 2, then it will print the elements which are there up to index 1 only. Similarly, if you are providing the end index as n, then it will display the elements which are there up to n minus 1 index. Similarly, if you want to verify, you can do it. Now I am providing the starting index as 0, ending index as 2, then it will display the elements as 6, 7, 8. Is it clear? Because up to second index, what elements are there, which is 8. Suppose let's take that you forgot to mention the end index, then it will display all the elements starting from the index 0. Is it clear? From the index 0, all the elements it will be displayed. Suppose let's take that you forgot to mention the starting index, but you have provided the end index. Then up to index 2, what are the elements are there? 6, 7, 8, that will be displayed. It will, if you forgot to mention the starting, it will consider from the index 0. Let's take that you did not mention the starting and ending. Then all the elements in the tuple will be displayed. Okay, so this is the way you can access a elements which are there in the tuple. Suppose let's take that you have provided the slicing using negative index. Let's take that -1. Then in the tuple A, what is the last element is there? 5. That will be displayed as an output. Suppose you have provided -2, then last but 1, which is 4, will be displayed as an output. So this is the way you can access the elements. Now we will discuss, we have mentioned one point. Tuple elements are immutable. So you cannot modify elements which are there in the tuple. Let me verify it. At the tuple A at index 2, currently what value is there? 3 is there. I want to modify it to 30. Let me run the code. See, we are getting an error, type error called tuple object does not support item assignment. So you cannot modify the tuple elements. Okay. Now let me discuss how can you perform the concatenating of two tuples? I have the tuple A and tuple B. I want to combine them. Okay, then what I can do, I can write print a plus b. Look at here, we will get the output as 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you got all the elements which are there in the tuple A, which are concatenated to the elements which are there in the tuple B. So this is what we can say, that concatenating the two tuples. Now let me discuss how can we performing the deleting the entire tuple. Then you can write called del tuple variable. Let me write b. Now look at here, entire tuple will be deleted. If I write print b, there is no tuple variable called b, so you will get an error. Name b is not defined. Is it clear? So you have completely deleted the tuple called b. Now let me discuss how can you use the count and index. Now count will be useful for you to count a particular element, how many times are there in a tuple. Okay, suppose let me write print a dot count, means a is the tuple variable, and then count how many times 3 has been occurred in a tuple a. Look at here, a has tuple a value 3 or element 3 is occurred twice, so you will get an output as 2. Okay, suppose let's take that I'm providing 4. How many times 4 has been occurred? Only once, so you will get the output as 1. Similarly, if you want to know the index of a particular element, okay, that also you can do it. So the element 5 is there. I want to know at each index it is there. It is there at the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is there at the index 5. So you will get the output as 5. Similarly, you want to know the value 3 at which index is there. Now you will have a confusion. The value 3 is there at twice. So it is there at the index 2 and index 3. Then what will be the output? You will get only 2. First time when it is occurred, that only it will count. So I hope it is clear for you about the tuples. If you still have any doubts related to tuples, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.